Okay, guys, so we have an interesting video today. This is a situation that is getting worse and worse. I'm going to start the video just kind of outlining the situation to any of those that don't know. I'm going to try to give you guys like a quick summary. So Caitlin Clark, women's basketball player, #1 pick out of college this year in the WNBA. Fantastic talent. Definitely the best women's basketball player I've ever seen. Definitely the best prospect we've seen come out of college. Incredible, right? Genuinely looks like the female Steph Curry the way she plays. She's crazy. 3-pointers, handles, all that. She's nuts. She's just crazy. She goes #1. She had an incredible college basketball tournament run. The world was watching. I think the female college basketball had more views than the male this year, which is just unheard of. So the attention that she's been gathering has been incredible. She goes #1. She's got more people invested and interested in the WNBA for her than I've ever seen. I've only watched probably previously one WNBA game in my life, the Women's Pro Basketball League in America. I've watched 2 this year just to see how Caitlin Clark played, and she's incredible. She's been playing very well. Yes, it's been a transition period, but she's still playing well. She just won Rookie of the Month in May. But we get to this situation here where Diana Taurasi, who's an college player as well. She's in the WNBA right now. I think she's 40 or 41. She played at UConn a long time ago. A very good all-time player, right? Definitely. It was already getting very weird during the tournament for the women's in college. She was going on podcasts saying, reality is coming. You look superhuman playing against some 18-year-olds, but you're going to come play with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. It wasn't only this comment. There was a lot of shade starting to be thrown around at Caitlin saying that, you have a huge reality coming and that, it's going to be a huge transition period, which maybe that's not necessarily out of left field to say, but we started to get this weird feeling from these WNBA pro players at the time that there was some jealousy. There was weird energy going towards her, which was just bizarre because Caitlin has brought so much attention to this sport. So many viewers, so much excitement, and the WNBA, to be honest, has been dead. No one has really cared about it. Ticket sales have never been crazy. The money in the league is not crazy. Caitlin had a huge opportunity here, and really is still doing that, to bring a lot of attention to this league. So instead of the players in the league that she's joining into supporting her, they started making weird, shady, interesting jealousy comments towards her. I didn't understand any of that, right? So it already started off getting a little weird with that. By the way, Diana Taurasi, who is doing very well overall, Caitlin Clark is actually out-averaging her for points this season, already in the pro league. And Caitlin Clark obviously is a rookie, and Diana Taurasi is probably a 20-year league veteran, right? So Caitlin Clark's transition period of her still transitioning, she's still having an incredible season for a rookie, right? She's doing great. We're going to talk about a situation here before we talk about anything else. She just won Rookie of the Month that happened over the weekend that is causing me to make this YouTube video. So basically, this draft class for the WNBA had a couple really good players. One of the other players, Angel Reese, who played at LSU, is a center positionally. She's good. She's very good. There's a couple other players in the draft class that were really good as well. So this draft class as a whole had a lot of attention. But the primary of the draft class having so much attention, obviously, is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark brought a lot of eyes to this draft class. Obviously, when people see who's #1, they want to be interested in other options too. Who goes #2, who goes #3, who goes #4. The top 5 prospects in WNBA have all been interesting this year. But here's where it's gotten a little confusing. And as Angel Reese is probably in this draft class the second most popular player, her team, who she got drafted to, the Chicago Sky, over the weekend, her teammate had an enforcer/dirty play against Caitlin Clark. This has gotten the news and the media and everything going crazy because that type of hit in the WNBA is ridiculous. That type of hit anywhere is ridiculous. And this is the teammate of Angel Reese. She spoke on her impact on the WNBA, and she said this. I hope I don't even know I have to put my audio on so you guys can hear it. This is what she said in a post-game or a pregame, a shoot-around interview.
Championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold-out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
I don't necessarily disagree that there isn't attention on her, as she is also a very good player in this draft class, but some of the narratives have gone crazy with the other women in the league thinking that it's them that's contributing to this success in the WNBA. And it's concerning that Caitlin received this hit from her teammate as well. It almost seemed like maybe she said something to her teammate, or her teammate felt the need to kind of go for it. Now, there's been this kind of created animosity or rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. There's not really much there. We just see Angel Reese a lot of the time kind of giving shade or kind of talking bad about Caitlin at times. It's a very interesting situation. And, you know, every time these interviews come out, people are sitting there saying, bro, people are watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, with all due respect to Angel Reese. I mean, she is a great player. But for her to go on there and say that it's everyone, in my opinion, it's not everyone. Caitlin Clark has got the world talking about this sport right now and has got the world watching this sport. She had it all tournament and is transitioned right to the WNBA, if not more. And you know, basically, look at this. WNBA ticket sales are up 93% from this date last year. WNBA television ratings are up 180% from this date last year. WNBA draft TV rating was 400% up from 2023. Look at this. Attendance at non-Caitlin Clark WNBA games this past weekend. 7,600, 4,000, 9,800, 7,000, 3,200, 10,200, 7,000. Attendance at Caitlin Clark WNBA games last weekend. 17,000, 17,000. Right? The team that Caitlin Clark got drafted to, the attendance for the entirety of the season last year, 20 games, was 81,300. Through the first 5 home games this season, they've had 82,000 people. They've had 82,000 people through the first 5. So this is where it's just this confusion. She just won Rookie of the Month. It's just this all over confusion. Like, why are these women acting like this? You know, they should be, in my opinion, glorifying, respecting, showing support. Because at the end of the day, if they were smart, instead of creating some villain role, instead of creating some hate narrative, they should want to jump on the Caitlin bandwagon train. Caitlin is lifting the entire league. Caitlin is lifting the entire league to make more money, more support all around. And what do these women do? They try to drag her down. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is the player that assaulted Caitlin Clark yesterday. The foul got upgraded to a flagrant 1. She got terminated from Atlanta after threatening to beat her own teammate up. She got conduct detrimental to the team. LA Sparks picked her up and waived her midseason for poor conduct. Then she played in Turkey. Now she's signed with the Chicago Sky, and she assaults Caitlin Clark in the 7th game, which is also obviously the team of the other player in this draft who is good, Angel Reese, and who has honestly had more women's basketball attention following her, for sure. Let's not act like that's not happening. However, seems to have a lot of jealousy towards Caitlin. Now, this is where I said, wow, you know what? This is what we should be seeing. Sabrina, who's a very good WNBA player, right? Caitlin Clark only scored 3 points in the recent matchup. She had a really tough game. Basically, Sabrina, after the game, instead of saying, oh, she's transitioning, oh, we cooked her, she wasn't ready for that. She said they came off a back-to-back, which is they played the night previously, so it's a little bit tough, but she'll figure it out. It's not that big of a deal to have a game like that. I haven't even seen a quote like this from a lot of the women the entirety of the year. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And then this is the final thought, which is what we just kind of went through. The reason we are watching women's basketball is not because of one person. It's because of me too. And so I think the final thought here is that a lot of these women, instead of being grateful and instead of being happy that the sport as a whole is growing, they feel discounted. They feel discredited, that they're not contributing something. They're working hard every day. They're getting up, grinding, being a professional athlete. The sport is growing. They want to have their name on Mount Rushmore as well. So instead of supporting Caitlin, instead of being on that mountain with her, they want to try to tear her down and act like they're contributing too. They are contributing too. But at the end of the day, let's call it how it is. Caitlin is the reason, guys, that people are going crazy for this. All right? She's selling out arenas. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And now the fact that this is happening in these WNBA games where she's being targeted, it's so childish and ridiculous. I don't understand. It's baffling, this situation to me. I wonder if at any point is this going to change? Is the narrative going to change? Is she going to be ever able to get respect from her peers across the league? It's just not. It's not appropriate, to be honest, that she's getting treated like this. Especially for what she's doing for women's sports. You know, I'm a person that I haven't watched the WNBA game more than once before this season, and I've already watched 2 or 3. And she is the primary reason because she's incredible at basketball. She's incredible. So she's got my attention to watch the WNBA and follow it. At least follow it. You know, on Twitter as well, I'm following it. Like on Twitter, I'm seeing what's going on and I'm checking into it, whereas I was never doing that before. And it's not because of Angel Reese, it's because of Caitlin Clark. Thanks for watching, boys. Let me know what you guys think. I can't speak today. And we'll see you guys in the video soon. Peace.